Welcome back to the Boy Time channel. Today, our annual year-end video. We're doing our top 10 albums from the year 2025. I have Jerry and Babjab here as usual, the usual gang for these
Yeah.
award show top 10 video things that we always do. Yeah, channel changed a lot this year, but we still listen to music. So we're going to talk about music.
We did.
You just might
We
not have
sure
as much
did.
of an insight as what we listen to, at least in the back half of the year. So,
Ah,
yeah, but that's pretty much it. I think we'll go Jerry, me, then Babjab, little upside down triangle action.
okay.
And we're also going to be covering 3 albums that we listened to this year that didn't come out this year. So we'll probably do that in like the honorable mention slot, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I thought so.
Between 5 and 4.
Halfway.
Is that what I said?
Yeah, that's where they always go.
Oh, okay.
Before we go to number 4,
No, we should-
let's do honorable mentions.
We should do in between 8 and 7.
6
Like
and 7.
it's a 7-inning stretch. Wow.
That's good.
No,
That's
we
good.
we have to sing baseball.
Great.
Why is that a thing?
I don't know. Baseball's freaking weird. If you like baseball, I'm so sorry.
It is
For you,
America's
not for
pastime
me.
after
Not
all.
for me. Yeah, I think that's it though. So I think Jerry can start us off if there's nothing else to put up front here.
I don't think so.
Epic.
My number 10 album is called Slugger by Derby.
Baseball.
It's a very nice photo. Yeah, it is a baseball.
It is a
and
nice photo.
rugby. There's a nice photo of a deer on the album cover, which was the thing that immediately gripped me because we've been playing some games. And every time we leave to play games, Babjab posts a trail cam photo. And so when I saw that, it reminded me of all those great deer photos that Babjab would send me. And so I said, I need to listen to this album. And it's very, very strange. And it's like nothing that I would ever listen to otherwise. I think I told Babjab to listen to it, and he compared it to the Underscores. And I think it's also like Kevin Abstract adjacent, because I
So
think
not what you listen
Derby
to.
has. No, not what I listened to. I think Derby was on like the most recent Kevin Abstract album or something like that. So there's a connection there, but it's like very like pitched up vocals, kind of lo-fi hip hop kind of sound. But I think overall it's just a really fun time. This is like my 100 Gex, where it's like nothing really serious is going on, but it just is fun to listen to. So that's my number 10.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
My number 10, very different. I got Ethel Cain with Willoughby Tucker, I'll Always Love You.
Oh,
People wanted a reaction to this, but it's like an hour and a half long and it's incredibly slow. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
This album's fantastic though.
fine with me.
She started the year with the Perverts EP, which is fantastic. It's very abstract and spooky. I really enjoyed that, but then that kind of carried forward onto the album a little bit, and the fact that she's doing some like very nice, like drawn out compositions that are just fantastic. That's like, I think I like this the most out of every Ethel Cain album. Preacher's Daughter is cool. It's definitely more poppy than this one is. I just appreciate how much this one just like lingers. There's so many just insanely long songs on here. The shortest one is like 4.5 minutes. And it's like a theme. It's not even a like, song. It's just like an interlude type thing, which is great.
Oh,
But she added some like really cool kind of synth work. I know she was inspired by Twin Peaks a little bit. Badalamenti coded in here a little bit. So very moody, very smoky, very, very, very slow. But so good. I think especially Dust Bowl through Waco, Texas, like the back half of the album is just absolutely perfect. So definitely moody, but I'm loving it. This is like my favorite style from her, kind of combining the Perverse EP and Preacher's Daughter to kind of create this just fantastic thing. So it's an hour 15. It's long, it's slow, but I think it's worth it. So that's my number 10.
nice.
Good job. My number 10 is Forever How Long by Black Country New Road.
What?
Uh, I feel very weird ranking them this low
Do you hate
because
women?
no, I love women. I think their other two albums that they put up both were my number ones in their respective years, so it feels weird putting them this low. But it's not because it's not a good album; it's a very good album. Um, the live performance that we saw helped me connect with it a little bit more. It's very pretty vocals. It's just not really my thing, unfortunately. Uh, I kind of like gravitated towards them because of that like moody post punk type of vibe. But the new like baroque pop isn't really my thing. But I still think it's a great album. But I just find myself it's kind of hard to come back to every once in a while. It's not in my constant rotation. But Two Horses is a good song. Bessie's is a good song. It's very good. Just not my vibe most days.
Only when you're whimsical.
Only when I'm
Yeah,
feeling whimsical, and I love
which I
women.
never am. Oh, well, thanks for clearing it up. I hope that half of your list is women because that
Make
was
up
something
for it.
that I thought about. I really had to keep it fair, and I don't.
Did you have to diversify?
No, actually, only one of my albums was a woman, so I
Wow.
guess I'm gonna side.
Wow. You think you know a guy?
Listen, it wasn't. It's not my fault. I had a bad upbringing. My number 9 album is "Hurry Up Tomorrow" by The Weeknd. I forgot that this came out this year, and I kind of debated even having it on my top 10, but it was better than the other albums that I listened to this year that I didn't give like any time to. I think we've talked to this album to death. It was a very long reaction video that we did for it. It's actually the same lineup that we have here today. I think we were all somewhat mixed on it. I still am. I think the whole rollout was very dumb and did kind of mar the final installment in the Weekend cinematic universe.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, maybe. We'll see if the idol money dries up.
It will.
Maybe. But yeah, I didn't really like it, but there are a lot of songs on here that I do like, but it's the songs over album for me,
Agreed.
which is why it's number 9.
Number 9. There was a lot of good stuff this year. I feel bad putting this year. 9, I have Mac Miller Balloonerism. A fantastic album, but
Oh,
it's at number 9. All my top 10 here is like really, really close and really good.
mm,
This is like a top 3 or 4 Mac Miller album for me too. So again, it's just a strong year, I think, overall. But this is kind of the perfect storm for me in terms of Mac Miller. It's got a lot of the psychedelic elements to it that I really enjoy. This was recorded alongside and after Faces, so like 2013, 2014. I think he was 22, 23 during the time, which is incredibly impressive. He does a lot of production credits on here. The song structures are all wonky and weird. Subject matter is like very insightful and mindful, surprisingly. So it kind of gets the opposite of Faces, which is just kind of like a really drugged out experience. This is kind of the yin to that yang. And it's really, really, really good. I can't believe Funny Papers was never released as a song and it was just shelved his entire career because it's literally criminal to put that song in like the bin. But yeah, there's a couple of just amazing songs on here. DJ's Chord Organ with SZA and Thundercat are fantastic. Funny Papers, fantastic. Rick's Piano is incredible. But a really good album experience. I think everything flows together really well. It's really trippy, very bass heavy, which is great. Thundercats all over it. His production style really shines through here. And the little animated short film thingy they made for it too was also really great. I think that's still on Amazon Prime if you want to check that out. But yeah, fantastic
nice.
album. It is at number 9, just because I didn't go back to it as much in the second half of the year. But it is still fantastic and a not miss if you're a Mac Miller fan.
Yeah, I kind of forgot that came out this year and
It
that would
was
count as a release that came out this
January
year.
17th.
Oh,
Isn't that the same day that Circle's released? Like of the year?
Close to it, yeah.
Anyway,
Wow.
my number 9 is Sankofa by Red Veil. This only came out about 3 weeks ago,
Forgot about
so I
that.
haven't had too
Oh,
much time to sit with it, but it's very good. If Red Veil sounds familiar, he was the sole feature on Scaring the Hose. But this is
oh,
not a
nice.
Scaring the Hose album. This is a very pleasant, very well produced, very good jazz rap album that I think you should check out
Ooh,
if you're into that kind of thing.
I
Brown
am.
Sugar's a great song. Mini Me's a great song. Buzzer Beater's a great song. He talks about how much he loves Chirp by C418 and how that inspired him to make music. So that's a good song.
Oh, nice.
Um, yeah, this is just a really solid project. I think he's like really, really young. So he's still at the start of his career. And this is
Mm,
really good as an early project. So I think he's on the up for sure. But here's my
wow,
number 9.
that sounds sick. I'm gonna have to listen to that
Do it.
later, not right now.
Pause the video.
Come on, everybody,
Walk
let's
away.
pause the recording. This might need to be added to my top 10.
Putting it at number 3.
Just kidding. My number 8 is Between You and Me by Flight. That's with a Y, not a GHT. Yeah, I know it's very awesome and
FLYT.
sophisticated. FLYTE.
That makes more sense.
It's French or some shit. I don't know. Yeah, but I started getting into Flight I think this was last year actually, with their last album, which was just the self-titled Flight album. And then they came out with an album this year called Between You and Me. And I think the rollout for this one was pretty stupid because like the whole thing was out by the time that the album came out, pretty much. Which I always love when artists do that. It's
So fun.
yeah, it just there's no anticipation for anything because it's already out. So it's pretty awesome when that happens. So I think the rollout for this one was also kind of marred by that for me. But as I was going back to it within the last couple of months, I was like, okay, this is actually pretty G-dang solid, just like really chill folk, and it's kind of cute too. So that's a nice little angle. It's not sad folk really. So it's very nice. Check it out if you like to not be sad.
I don't.
To check that out.
I do. I don't like being sad.
I do
Just to
not.
clarify.
Don't.
For the air.
Speaking of not being sad, my number 8 is Earl Hoodie with Live, Laugh, Love.
Wow.
This is maybe my favorite Earl album. I don't know. It just feels good. It feels right. It feels like I'm listening to a Mike album, which is a compliment because Mike usually has that more heartwarming, soulful angle to it, and Earl finally takes that here, being at a very good point in his life. Navy Blue and Child Actor killed the production across this thing. It's fantastic. No features at all. It's just straight to the go. 25 minutes. It's incredibly replayable. Some of my favorite songs from him are on here. Tourmaline and Exhaust are both perfect 10 out of 10 tracks. The production is so goofy at parts, which is just really, really fun. He gets some really interesting pockets and things here. I feel like he's really found a good mix in his delivery where it's not as like slurred as like Feet of Clay, and he's kind of coming back into a more legible tone that I really enjoy as well. Yeah, I think with the Navy Blue production and everything is just I appreciate him working with these groups of artists because I know he's more high profile than all of them, but he really does kind of stick to the kind of people in this area like Mike and all that. But this thing is fantastic, endlessly replayable, and really surprised me. So
Nice.
My number 8 is Let God Sort 'Em Out by Clips. I think this is like the most fundamentally good rap album you will find. There's like not a single flaw on this album, which is
that's
why
why
it's at
it's
my
number
number
8.
8. Yeah. Um, the production is great. Obviously, Pusha T and Malice are great. Every feature is great. I don't really have a lot to say about it because it's just a good album. Like if you listen to this and don't like it, I just don't think you like music. Um, but
That's fair.
Correct.
it's just a good album. I don't know. You should listen to it.
Me
Number 8.
personally,
Right now.
Yeah,
I've already listened to it.
do it again.
Okay. All right, number 7, lucky number 7. Everybody stand up and
Everyone's-
It is
take your
lucky.
take your hat off, put it over your heart, and we're gonna sing Yeehaw baseball song. So nobody's standing. Well, Babby's
I'm
standing.
standing.
That's a
I got a
technicality.
standing desk.
I'm comfy right now. I don't want to get up.
That's a technicality. Okay, never mind. I'll cry about it, but maybe my number 7 album will help to dry a tear by Kamari. That one was actually nice.
That was smooth.
That was
I
clean.
feel like I have a 5% success rate with doing segues. So yeah, To Dry a Tear by Kamari. I've been getting way into soul and R&B music within the last couple months or so, and this is a somewhat recent find. I think I found it maybe about a month ago. But I think because we just did D'Angelo, Voodoo, and Graceland over on the podcast, we did that this year. And then, of course, the tragic passing of D'Angelo. I think it's very fitting because Kamari's music on this album is actually very reminiscent of D'Angelo and did like kind of fill that void for me where I'm like, oh well, this is a nice kind of replacement because it is just so jazzy, so soulful, so low key. But he has like the vocals remind me more of Frank Ocean. He has kind of like that like sad, droopy face that I assume that Frank Ocean is always doing when he sings.
He's just always got the blonde cover.
Yeah,
Like,
he's just like, oh, that's how
my
Frank
head hurts.
Ocean. So it's kind of an interesting mix. If you're into D'Angelo and or Frank Ocean, I think you should check it out. It's a pretty good project, especially the last song, which is Apollo 18, I think. It's very, very nice.
I'll have to listen to that.
Look at it.
I feel like I
Yeah,
slacked this
try to
year.
at least.
I
Just in general.
yeah, I went through a lot of my comfort artists. I'm like, usually I branch out and find new artists. This year I was like, all my favorite artists are dropping, so I'm just staying there.
That's
But
fine.
yeah, I'll bounce back. I'm switching my list every time we go around. My number 7
Oh,
is Swans with Birthing.
wow.
Yeah,
Number 7.
number 7. This is their last
It's really
shebang. It's really horrible. Michael's last big sound album at 70 years old, I think. So end of an era. It's pretty good. I do really enjoy it. I think it's not as good as The Beggar, which came out in 2023. I thought that was a very, very good mix of everything. This tried to kind of take the loud sound and just do as much as they could with it as this kind of like last present, I suppose, before they do more seems acoustic kind of stuff. I'm sure he can't hear anything anymore, so I think he's just going until he can't, no more. I did hear like half of this album, at least parts of it, that were the same when I saw them on tour last year, since they make their songs by touring this material and changing it consistently. So I heard some sort of form of some of this before. And it is really good. I think they capture like kind of a floaty post rock kind of Godspeed on a couple of the tracks here, which is interesting for them because they're usually all about that kind of abrasive like hypnotic type stuff. Michael is just talking nonsense across this record. He's just completely lost it, and I love it. Again,
nice.
I think The Beggar was like other than White Light, I think The Beggar is probably their best written album. This one, it just seemed like he was just spitting words and just that was it. Which, whatever, that's cool. I think Guardian Spirit is incredible. Rope Away, the closer, is incredible. I'm a Tower is the best David Bowie song I've ever heard. And The Merge is just freaky. I don't know why they had like a baby sound and then like weird electronic noises as soon as the song starts that is just a complete turnoff, but it's a Swan song, so you just let it go and it turns into something good. But yeah, very good. I don't think it ranks like in the top 5 Swans albums for me, but like it's a good kind of send off to the sound. I feel like I have to be in a very, very specific mood to put this one on compared to other ones. So for that reason, it's number 7.
Nice.
My number 7 is Alfredo 2.
The second
By,
one?
yeah, the second one.
Sequel.
By Freddie
Wow.
Gibbs and The Alchemist. I also don't have a lot to say about this one because it's Freddie Gibbs, who's one of the most technically proficient rappers of all time. And then there's The Alchemist, who's one of the best producers of all time. So then you put them together and it makes good music. Yeah, that's about it. It's
That's
just
fair.
a good album. It's just a good album. If you liked Alfredo 1, you will like Alfredo 2. So
They should do that with pasta. They should
They
do
should do
sequels
that.
to spaghetti and meatballs and stuff like that.
I didn't like how they put ramen on the cover and then called it Alfredo too. That seemed stupid.
You had to change it from the original.
There was a
So
there
you
was
They were
a
getting sued.
there was a alternate cover that was like a dollar bill going through the pasta machine and then it was coming out as pasta. I'm like, that's so much better. They should have used that.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Enchilada's a good song. Skinny Shook 2 is a good song. Gas Station Sushi is a good song. These are all good songs, actually. That's probably why it's on my list.
I would hope so.
Damn, this album's
Yeah.
actually
My
good.
number 7.
I
Now that I'm
forgot
looking at
about
it, this album's kind of nice.
boy. My number 6 is Mirage by Ave Noir. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but I'm gonna roll with it. This is another. I would say this is like more straight R&B, but it's just very chill. It's a chiller one, where you just kind of like ride the vibe. I wouldn't even like. I think R&B is like really hard genre to nail for me because like for what I'm going for with R&B is like really talented vocals and like some jazzy funky stuff. And this album doesn't really have any of that. Not saying that Ave Noir is a bad singer, but it's just like he's one of those where it's like his vocals perfectly complement the instruments. And so like it really feels like it's a whole package, which is kind of unique from what I listen to. But it's very, very nice. And I would recommend if you are working or vacuuming or doing something where you need a chiller, I would recommend this.
I can't hear music when I'm vacuuming.
Why
Those are the
not?
two things I want a chiller the most when I'm doing.
Yeah,
So,
that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. Those are the two things I put music in for.
Real. Okay. Number 6. I got Navy Blue, The Sword and the Soaring. This came out last month, so pretty new.
Wow.
But I really got into him last year with Memoirs and Armor, which is a very short 25-minute album slash mixtape that became an album type thing. And then I listened to his Post Panic album from 2020 this year. So really get into his solo work. And his new one here is fantastic. It's 16 tracks, 45 minutes, so much more fleshed out than last year's release, but still keeping the same kind of energy. The beats here are just crazy. A lot of drumless stuff, a lot of just like very ethereal kind of beats that go over really, really well. Typical Navy Blue subject matter, trauma, realignment, all the kind of spiritual stuff he's got going on. It comes across so well. Earl Sweatshirt's the only feature on here on 24 Gospel, and it's fantastic. Guardada's is fantastic. I think Illusions might be my favorite track here. But incredibly unique hip hop. The beats are just amazing. There's such a vibe when you turn on a Navy Blue project. It's kind of that extra level that Mike kind of brings. Like Mike has this kind of spiritual mindfulness angle, but Navy Blue is just like kicks it up 3 notches, and it's just incredible. So very, very, very good. I'm really enjoying his solo work. I got to listen to more of his stuff next year. But yeah, very, very good.
Nice.
Nice.
Good job. My number 6 is Headlights by Alex G.
Wow.
Kind of an indie legend, I guess you could say. He's had a lot of big
Indie
indie
darling.
hits, indie darling. But this is my first full
Buzzword.
album that I've heard from him, so I don't really know what his other music sounds like, if I'm being honest with you. But I thought the album cover was really cool, so I listened to it and I like it. It's just a really solid like pop rock album. If you like accordion, listen to this album. If you like high pitched guitar and ukulele, listen to this album. Um, June Guitar is great. Afterlife is great. Beam Me Up is great. Louisiana is kind of like a shoegaze esque, where everything's just mixed at the exact same level, and it sounds really good. Um, Orange Juice is good. Yeah, it's just a very solid album that really doesn't get old. Like the repetitiveness, like the replayability is like really, 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 really high. Really, really high. Uh,
Nice.
so very good time.
Yes.
Yeah, I need to
Yeah.
listen to Alex G. I keep hearing people talk about him.
Buzzword.
Word of mouth. My number 5 is A Welcome Kind of Weakness by Runner.
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 I probably don't have a whole lot to say about this one because we already did a whole G-Dang review for it on this channel. So if you want to see like all of our thoughts on it, you should go watch that video. But if you don't want to, it's just a really, really solid indie rock. And that's pretty much all I'll say. Go watch your video, cowards,
Engagement.
losers. Yeah.
Engagement.
Audience retention.
Engagement.
Finish this video first,
Buzzword.
though. Or am
Hit
I
the
right?
subscribe and
Hit
the
the
bell.
bell.
And then keep it the really loud bell noise.
Ding.
Yeah, that's
With
good.
the click.
The little graphic on screen. We don't do that here.
Yeah. Why not?
I don't know. That's a lot of work. My number 5 is Bon Iver with Sable Fable.
Oh wow.
Oh wow, I'm so unique. I love
wow.
Bon Iver. This album's really, really good. We got the Sable EP late last year, and then I think everybody was like, "That's it." But then we're like, "Wait, that's not it. Like, there's got to be something." And then there was an excruciatingly long wait until April, where it finally came
Yeah.
out as an album, which is an interesting rollout. I think there was a little bit too much space in between, but the final product here is incredible. The switch up into like this weird alternative pop direction is really, really working on this album. The first disc of Sable is still really good. I think after like I've disconnected from the weirdness of the EP and I like view it as the full album experience, I enjoy it a lot more. But even just like the transition, like from award season into short story and then into Everything is Peaceful Love is one of the best moments of the year. So well done. And then everything on volume 2 was just really, really great. Everything is Peaceful Love, Walk Home, Day One. I feel like If Only I Could Wait was the only like kind of one that I don't go back to too much. Just kind of for me. But you know, then you have There's a Rhythm ending it, which is just an incredible song. He always kills the closers. This one is no
Yes.
exception. Just really, really fantastic stuff. I have a feeling this is probably his last album as Bon Iver, but I think it's a good way to go out. I love the kind of positivity direction, kind of the Earl Sweatshirt angle again, where it's just this like renewed energy, and what comes out is just some fantastic music. So the vibes are fantastic on this one, and it's great.
Yeah.
My number 5 is Racing Mount Pleasant by Racing Mount Pleasant,
Oh.
featuring the song Racing Mount Pleasant by Racing Mount Pleasant. If you are a big fan of orchestral stuff, like there's a lot of saxophone and guitar and different kind of drums, I think you'll enjoy this quite a bit. It's kind of got a lot of different influences, and I think it's their first album. So I think like I think they can be a lot more creative in the future, but this is a really good launching point for them, I think. But yeah, this is just like a really mellow, relaxing, like really orchestrated kind of slower rock album. Not even rock really. But
Oh,
yeah, if you're into that kind of thing, I highly recommend.
sounds interesting to me. I
Listen
never
to
heard of
it.
it, frankly.
I don't really know who to compare them to for reference, but
I mean, Spotify has the fans also like Geese and Cameron Winter, which I know is like the
probably
same
why I
thing.
like it. So
Yeah,
they'll be hearing those names a lot more in about 30 minutes.
2 minutes.
So
really.
yeah.
Well, I was going to switch 3 and 4 to make the names better, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to
Don't
be the authentic and
yeah,
true
don't
self that
sacrifice
I
the
am.
integrity of the
Mhm.
list.
For a funny pun. I would never do that. Number 4 is Sable Fable by Bon Iver. I was so sad we almost lined up.
Almost. No lineups
Almost.
yet this year.
Not yet.
I don't know if
And I
there
feel
will
like
Hopefully.
be.
that might be one of the only
Yeah.
ones that possibly could. Um, but yeah, we had a whole review for this one too. We have a reaction for both, I guess technically.
Hmm.
But yeah, this one is really really solid. I also think that this is probably his last album, maybe ever. Like just like looking at the interviews and stuff, it kind of felt like he was like, I'm kind of done. I'm gonna retire and move up in a cabin somewhere, which is nice. I would actually like that for him. And I think that he's contributed enough to music that he's left behind a pretty G dang great legacy. So
Real.
if he's done, that's awesome. So yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like I have a whole lot more to add than what you said. I was also going to bring up that the transition from Sable to Fable's phenomenal.
Hmm.
But I will say that If Only I Could Wait, I like that song quite a bit. And I
Okay.
would say it's one of my favorites. So I'll just say that. I'll defend them
And
a
that's
little
why
bit.
it's number 4 for you and not number 5.
That's right. That's right. Because I like the track a little bit more. That's my number 4.
Epic. My number 4, I have A Black Country New Road with Forever How Long.
Wow.
I like
Wow.
women 6 more times than
Wow.
That's an
it's
interesting sentence.
do not clip that. um, I do really, really, really like this album, and I love the direction they're taking. I think many a groups would take the Black MIDI route and just disintegrate after losing a frontman, especially one that like has gained such a popularity with them. But they really just went back to the freaking drawing board and came back with something that's just incredibly unique and creative. There's not many bands out there where there's no frontman and there's like 4 different singers across the album. You have the 3 ladies taking up the mic on this album, and all of them have different kind of storytelling tracks, but they all kind of converge into one thing, which is just really fantastic. The writing is creative, the music is fun. We're not in sad boy era anymore. Now we're just in like melancholic mid 20s woman in current day, which might be even more sad depending on a couple of these tracks. But it's a really interesting perspective and it comes across really well. Like, I don't know, it feels very of the time for people in their mid 20s with a lot of the songwriting here, which is just really, really fantastic. Yeah, every song on here has a moment. There's no dud on here for me. I mean, Tyler takes up vocals on a lot of these that are my favorites. Georgia on Two Horses is incredible. That song is like maybe the most reminiscent of their first 2 albums, but goes over incredibly well. For the Cold Country is amazing. Nancy is incredible. And Goodbye, the closer, grew on me a ton. Like, that's just an amazing pop song at that point. Especially live, the vocal harmonies that were hitting on stage are fantastic. And shout out the Yo-Yo guy that they brought out to do socks, or no, the big
Shout
spin,
out
What?
that
because
guy.
Yo-Yo. Yeah, there was a professional yo-yoer that did the big spin and dance moves at the
That's
concert, and it
awesome.
was fantastic. But yeah,
I loved him.
one of the most unique bands of our time, and they keep killing it. So, very good job.
And my number 4 is Double Infinity by Big Thief,
Oh
The
wow.
Big Thief.
the Big Thief. I feel like this one isn't like it just kind of feels like like their next natural installment. It's not like they're not really pushing what they are; they're just kind of staying in that lane, and that's okay. Um, I think it's definitely a top heavy album. The back half I haven't really connected with that much, but it starts off amazing. Like the first 5 song run is like really really good. Um, it's definitely not Dragon New War Mountain, and that's okay. Um, yeah, this is just if you have liked Adrian Lenker or Big Thief work in the past, you'll probably like something off of this album. So
That's fair.
Except make it
my number
spacey.
4,
Make it
yeah,
whoa.
What?
Words is my favorite song on the album. That's an amazing, phenomenal song.
I don't remember any of the track names.
Fan of Grandmother.
Grandmother. What's that one where she says the same thing over and over again?
Oh, freaking it's like one of the last songs. I forgot the name of it.
I can't think of it.
I do like that song though.
Me too.
I think it's Happy With You. Yeah,
Yes.
it's Happy With You.
Yeah.
Happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one's all right. That one gets a pass from me.
That's why it's my number 4.
Gold style.
If it was a 5-song album, it would be a perfect album.
That's true. That's true. My number 3 album is Forever Is a Feeling by Lucy Dacus, which is why I wanted to switch to.
It was still smooth. It was still smooth.
That's fine. But yeah, it's no surprise that Lucy Dacus is on my top 5 albums of the year. I love Lucy Dacus. I'm a big Lucy head. I've been to see her twice now. One of them was this year for this album. And I gotta say, I think what you guys were saying about Black Country New Road, like making those songs better for you after seeing them live, I feel like I had the same thing with Lucy Dacus this year. That show that she put on was just like so much fun. And the album itself is so cute and has such like a positive, warm feeling to it. It's kind of infectious. So, yeah, that's my number 3. Very, very nice, but not the best because she changed the album cover.
She did. It's unfortunate.
That's why it's at number 3 and not number 1.
That's right.
These things count. And
These things
when the
do
list is
count.
this close. Yeah. I'm gonna have to do honorable mentions on top of the top 3 albums we discovered this year because there's like so many things I left off this
Yeah.
list. My number 3 is Clips Let God Sort 'Em Out. My top 3 is all pretty much near perfection. This album rips. It's so good. It's like when Pharrell's vocals are the worst part of your album, you know you're doing something good. His production's pretty good. He gets a little overzealous on the choruses at times. But
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter when Malice
allowed
is
to.
literally running through the entire like hip hop scene, doing like multiple verse of the years after just coming back and not really doing a lot in the recent years. There are so many just incredible verses on this album. Just like Birds Don't Sing through Ace Trumpets are just incredible. All Things Considered right after it is also great. FICO with Stove God is incredible. He only gets a chorus on there. I wish he got an actual verse, but like he still does fantastic on it. But yeah, the wordplay, the just like pure intensity that they bring to every single song is fantastic. I think Pharrell's production here is just like incredibly punchy. It's simple, it's infectious, and it just hits the mark when it needs to. The beats don't get as funky as something as like the old Clips records, like Hell Hath No Fury. There's nothing like too crazy. There's no Keys Open Doors beat on here, but like it's still pretty good. It's like streamlined for this year, and it's an incredible comeback record. It's like near perfect. So very, very good.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're sticking around for long or if this is just kind of like a boom, here it is. But yeah, Malice gets, I think, best returning artist for the year for sure. Like he's just has not lost a day. So fantastic.
I kind of got Tribe Called Quest vibes from this one, where it's like, this might just kind of be a one and done. They got together and made something really, really good.
Yeah.
I hope I'm wrong, but
We'll
I don't
see.
know. That was kind of the vibe.
My number 3 is Adrian Lenker's Live at Revolution Hall album.
Oh, wow.
I don't want to sit here and tell you to listen to the whole thing because it's 2 hours long.
No, you should.
You should. It's like a mix of a live session and like some like really fuzzy recordings. Like they sound like they're recorded on like a 1995 camcorder, but it works for her style of music and it's like a really good vibe. Um, some of the live renditions are like they rival the studio versions. Like there's some like really, really, really good live versions on here. Um, so I think if you like her previous songs, just look for the ones that you like that are on this record. Um, the Sadness as a Gift live version is so good. The Anything one is probably better than the studio version for me. Uh, yeah, it's just a really, really solid live album. And she's amazing. She's just the best ever.
The goat.
Maybe. Yes. The way she writes songs is just insane. So it's my number
It's
3.
official. You like women now.
I love
He's
women.
back to being an ally.
And was never not an ally.
Well, there was a public perception of you that you were quite misogynistic, but
I let that go because it's like good for like the character and like channel impressions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do
that's
some
true.
drama. You already said
Just to
you're
clear
one
the
woman
air.
on your list, so
Yeah, why are you talking?
My number 2 album of the year is 2 by Fox Warren. I couldn't resist. Also, it is probably my second favorite album of the year. We just did The Party by Andy Schroff on the show, and this is a group that he is the lead singer of. They actually have kind of an interesting story because they became a band before Andy Schroff started making and publishing music by himself, but they hadn't released any music until significantly after Andy Schroff's solo career had begun, like 5 years in between him starting and then the first Fox Warren album, which is just called Fox Warren. And then they took another extended break and are now back with 2. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not like the biggest fan of the original Fox Warren LP. It's fine. It's just like more like spacey, which if you're into that kind of stuff, then go for it. But 2 is like really fun and dancey. It takes like the Andy Schroff like kind of complex storytelling that he does and all of his stuff and really just dilutes it down to kind of similar to Tallahassee by the Mountain Goats, and that just the album is about like a relationship falling apart. And, you don't really have to be going into specifics when you get there. So the songs are just really, really fun, and they don't feel like you have to listen to the whole album to really appreciate the songs. So I think this one was kind of underseen. So I would like to give a big recommendation for 2 by Fox Warren because it's a fun time.
where you? I'll probably go to that eventually after I'm done
It's a
with the
good one.
party.
Of course.
The party. We were so close with our overlaps. My number 2 was Adrian Lenker live at Revolution Hall. Usually I wouldn't include a live album on the top 10 list because there's so many good albums that I feel like it's like taking a spot, but I feel like this transcends what the live album format is. It's actually one of the best live albums I've ever heard. I think taking a live album and not just like putting here's the show we recorded at this venue, here you go, that's it, like it's okay. But this is like multiple different studio and there's sound check songs on here. There's a couple of new songs that she hasn't put on anything here. The mixing and everything keeps it fresh. It's kind of psychedelic and trippy, which might have been a prelude to their next album that they released this year. But just a lot of these songs and renditions are just incredible. I feel like she's an artist that like just fits the live setting, being so kind of minimal in the way that they are, that it just works so well. Freaking Cattails is a sound check song on here, and it's one of the best things I've ever heard. And it's a sound check. It's not even like an actual live rendition of it. It's incredible. The Ruined sound check is incredible. Real House Live is phenomenal. There's so many just amazing moments, and it keeps going and going and going because there's 43 songs on here. So you just keep going, and it goes through like different moods and phases. But like right when you get out of it, the next song is like one of your favorite Adrian Lenker songs, and you're right back in it. So this for me definitively is the best thing that her and Big Thief have ever released. I mean, Dragon Noir Mountain's right behind it, but I think this is like the essence of what she is and what the band is. So this is kind of like the quintessential Adrian Lenker if you need to some
Hmm.
place to go to get into her. But absolutely like perfect live album, fantastic.
Nice.
My number 2 is Live, Laugh, and Love by Earl Sweatshirt.
What?
Oh, yeah.
This thing is so good. Which is why it's at my number 2. But it's really, really incredible. Especially coming from him. Like Babby said, this is a very bright, a very uplifting album. Especially when 7, 8 years ago he was making some rap songs and Feet of Clay, which have some of the most like despondent and depressing songs you'll ever hear. And now he's talking about how much he's enjoying things, and it's just like very inspirational to hear him go through that progression of his life. And it's a fun album. It's a very creative, like kind of like Babby said, there's some like really weird production quirks that are really good. He has a lot of good lyrics on here. The James Cameron one is my favorite one. I like that one a lot. At the end of Exhaust, the very last thing he says is, "It's really just you and whatever you think," and that's like coming from him that made some rap songs. That's just like, wow, this is amazing. So I'm very happy for him that he's doing better at this stage in his life, and it's been very like rewarding to see him go on that journey. But yeah, it's great. I love him.
Thanks, Earl.
Thanks, Earl.
Or whatever. I don't remember what
Earl.
his real name is.
Thebe.
Tebe.
Oh, yeah,
Thebe.
that's
I like
right.
to say Thebe.
Tebe. I don't know what his last name is. I don't know if I can pronounce that. But Tebe.
Oh, frick yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what it is. All right. Before we announce our number 1 album of the year, we're going to do a little pit stop and do a cool album that we found this year that didn't come out this year. I figure since we don't really talk about music on the podcast so much, this is kind of a little segment where we can say, here are some really standout albums that we listened to that we haven't had a chance to talk about online. And so do we want to do that like one person does all of their albums?
Yeah,
Or do we
we'll
wanna
just do a
do-
quick run through, I think. That and any
Okay.
honorable mentions from this year, I guess. Just so we're not going around and losing track.
I don't have any honorable mentions. I just have these 3 albums. And actually, it's 2 albums and 1 artist.
Okay.
So, still 3 things. My first album that I wanted to highlight is Ghosts of the Great Highway by Sun Kill Moon, which sounds like it would be a Korean man, but I believe it's a Polish man. That for some reason chose the name Sun Kill Moon, which would put me off. But it's a really, really solid, like, there's folk. I guess I would say it's like alternative folk, because there's like some stuff that is like more straightforward, like chill guitar, soft rock stuff. But then there's like some really like noisy guitar, kind of reminds me of like Neutral Milk Hotel. So I'd say it's kind of a mix of that. And it came out in like the mid 2000s, I think. So there's your time frame. But the songwriting is really, really good. He has like an 8-minute rock ballad that's dedicated to Salvador Sanchez and Pancho Villa, which is pretty awesome. So it's just a really, really nice ride. And it's just a lot of fun. Check it out if you like long songs. I should also mention that there's like 12-minute long songs and stuff.
I love long songs.
Yeah,
The
I think
long
I,
way.
A long way.
I don't know if we'll do that one on the show, but it is a fun one to listen to. The second album that I listened to that I wanted to shout out is Iron and Wine's Beast Epic. This was the first Iron and Wine album that I listened to, but it was very, very nice. And I've kind of gone back and listened to some of his other albums that have come out since and before. And I still think that this one is probably my favorite. So check it out. Check out the song Thomas County Law if you don't believe me. That's just a nice folk song. Okay, And then the last one, I didn't really have an album for this guy, but it's a new artist that I've been listening to for maybe a month and a half now, and that is Jesse Wells. I don't know if you are familiar with this guy. I think he's mostly inspired by the works of Pete Seeger and Bob Dylan. He is a country slash folk singer-songwriter, but he is writing some very politically charged protest songs, and I think he's kind of a lyrical genius. Like I just reading his lyrics are so g-dang relatable, and it's like, man, all of the anger and stuff that I have about everything going on is being perfectly articulated by this dude who's
This
singing a country
dude,
song. This dude. And it's very,
this
very nice
dude.
stuff. I'd recommend everyone check it out.
What is country if not stripped to its roots of outlaw songs and protest songs?
It's
And beer
true.
in trucks and women.
No, 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 no. That's the fake
Well,
stuff.
yeah, yeah, that's why like it's really stood out to me. Where I'm like, the scene in country is just so dire. Like, it's so sad what
You got a
country has
handful of
become.
people usually.
Yeah, but I'm like, man, this guy's he's taking it all the way back to the good stuff. I'm like, it's good. It's nice. Check out the
Epic.
song Red or United Health. Those are two of my favorites.
Wonder what
Epic.
that one could be about.
It could be about anything.
True.
Use your imagination. It's up for interpretation.
Yeah.
All right.
Those are the things that I wanted to shout out.
Epic. I'll do the top 3 albums I discovered this year first, and then I'll just ramble off some honorable mentions real quick.
Okay.
I'm going to say both Nick Drake albums we listened to this year. This doesn't really count, but we've talked about both of them extensively. Brighter, Lighter, and Five Leaves Left, both incredible folk albums. But getting into the ones I discovered this year, my girlfriend put me onto this one. This is Proto Martyrs, Relatives, and Descent. Came out 2017. This is a
Oh,
Detroit post-punk band. The more kind of industrial, edgy kind of post-punk, which is really, really, really nice. There's some really cool grooves that they hit on this album. Very politically charged at certain points. Lyricism is just really fun and cool. And I love the kind of, I don't know, it sounds very brutalist, if that makes any sense, but that's what I really love about it. It's catchy. It's awesome. The Chuckler is my favorite song because it's called The Chuckler, but it's also just an
oh,
incredible song. But Up the Tower is great. Male Plague is great. And the closer Half Sister is also very, very good. Next, completely different, I got Mark Hollis's Self-Titled. This came out in 98, I believe. This is the lead singer
oh,
of Talk Talk. After the band disbanded, he took 7 years off and then released whatever this thing is and then dipped from the music industry forever. And then he
oh,
died in
wow.
like 2017. He was just like one of the rare cases of I'm done making music and then just went into private life for the rest of his days, which mad respect.
Yeah.
But this was, I think, supposed to be the next Talk Talk album after Laughing Stock, but it kind of got shelved and kind of became the solo work. So it is
Mm.
incredibly bare. Like, there's not a lot going on in a lot of these songs. There's some really cool horn sections that pop up, but it's very, very, very much about the silence and the cool long progressions that it goes on, and kind of singer songwriter focused in that way, which is fantastic. I think Westward Bound is probably my favorite track here. The guitar there is just incredible. The Color of Spring is also fantastic, and then The Gift is also great. So if you're into Talk Talk or just like more drawn out kind of singer songwriter stuff, it's a good one. And then switching
Nice.
gears again, my last one, I got Bob Villain, Humble as the Sun. Bob Villain kind of made a lot of waves this year with his
Oh,
Glastonbury stuff and everything else, where he's getting banned from a ton of UK festivals for his pro-Palestine
oh,
support, and
oh.
has kind of won a lot of the cases on it now that things have passed a little bit. But he does kind of like rap, rock, punk. It's a weird mixture of a lot of things. I guess punk is what you can kind of boil it down to the most here. But It's a really cool album. Get Yourself a Gun is maybe my favorite track here. It kind of interpolates the Sopranos theme song, which is just great.
Oh,
So I love the energy here. He's got
How about
really,
that?
he's got really thoughtful lyricism, but goes hard at the same time. Yeah, great stuff happening in the UK with this kind of stuff. So Bob Dylan's a real one. Okay.
nice.
Okay, honorable mentions for this year. I'm just going to run through these. First one is Alan Sparhawk and Trampled by Turtles. Fantastic album. 30 minutes, but it hits hard. It's a great bounce back after his weirdo experimental White Roses, My God, from last year. I saw him again in concert opening this year, and he's an incredible human. So shout out to Alan. McKinley Dixon with Magic Alive is great. That album is really fantastic, but I just did not find enough replay value for me to like put up higher. I got Maruja with Pain to Power. They finally released an album after dropping like 4 EPs across 4 years. And it's fantastic. It's a perfect blend of like post punk and like post hardcore hard rock. Incredibly politically charged, which I was not really expecting that like direct of lyricism from them. But goes hard. Look Down on Us and Trenches are incredible. Backwash with Only Dust Remains is incredible as well. She branches out into a more expansive sound after doing this kind of rap metal thing for the last couple of years. But this is definitely her most personal work and most, I don't want to say accessible, but most accessible. It's good. And then I got Deaf Heaven, Lonely People with Power. Fantastic album. Kind of this black gaze, shoegaze, black metal fusion that is just insanely good. It's an hour long. It's long, but it's good. Clipping, Dead Channel Sky, great. Fantastic. It's a cyberpunky album. Didn't get enough replay value out of it to put it higher, but it's good. Okay. Mike Showbiz, fantastic. Came out in January. It's not the best Mike album in the world, but it's really, really, really good. It was like number 12 on my list, I would say.
Ah,
And then I got Arm & Hammer and the Alchemist with Mercy. Good album, not as good as Haram. Very different for them, very lyrics forward. I feel like the Alchemist kind of didn't go on autopilot, but gave them more just like softer beats compared to what they're used to going on. So lyricism stands out, but not the most accessible thing in the world. I think that's it. I think those are all the ones I'll call out. So a lot of stuff out there this
nice.
year.
I don't think I have anything else from this year. I kind of stayed within my little pack of what I found. But the two, well, I'll start with one. The one that I really connected to this year is Songs by Adrian Linker.
Mm.
My pipeline was kind of dragging Noir Mountain into Bright Future, and I kind of skipped over this one a little bit. But like, oh my god, this is like a perfect album. Uh, if we're doing like decade lists, this is going to be at the top of my decade list. Like this is like some of the best songwriting and like I've ever heard. Just like the way she like describes things is like so like detailed and like abstract and poetic, and it's like yeah, it's crazy. Like half of these songs you can hear like leaves rustling in the background, you can hear raindrops, you can hear it was definitely a COVID album, but it just has like a vibe to it that I have not found anywhere else. Um, just some of the best songs I've ever heard, honestly. And then
Nice.
my other one was Heavy Metal by Cameron Winter. Um, I'm very unique, and no one has ever talked about this person before. Um,
No.
this came out in December of 2024. Had I heard it in time last year, it definitely would have been my number one. Um, but crazy, crazy, crazy powerful vocal. Some of the best like ballads, like the most best ballad performances you'll ever hear, and like just he's very quirky. He's kind of got a tiny bit of like Talking Heads, a tiny bit of Radiohead in there, but
Mm.
he like mixes that quirk with like a really powerful voice, and it like makes songs that are just like infinite replay value, just like so good. Um, he's definitely on the up. I think he'll be a much more popular name in a 2 or 3 years, but right now he's kind of in that like niche online circuit right now. But
Yes.
I think he's gonna be big. So I'm investing early, as the kids say.
That's good. He's going to be the next Rihanna.
Yeah.
Umbrella.
He did cover Baby by Justin Bieber, and it's like actually a good
Ooh,
song
okay.
now. So
Oh, that is good. All
All
right.
right.
Is that it? Are we moving on to our number one album of
Number
the
one
year?
album of the year.
of
What
ever.
the hell?
I'm so
I'm so
excited.
excited.
What the hell?
My number one album of the year is Beloved by Giveon. It's in all caps. So you have to scream it every time. Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do with my next one too.
Yeah, you should. But yeah, I've man, I don't even know where to start with this album. I guess I'll start with that this is a straight up soul album that was made this year. Not neo soul. This isn't any of that D'Angelo inspired bullshit. This is Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, like goodness. There's like orchestral string sections and horns. And this guy has the voice of an angel. This Giveon fella. I got into him I think a couple years ago when I listened to When It's All Said and Done, Take Time, which is a combination of his first two EPs that were combined into an album. And I was like, this is pretty good, but it's like kind of standard R&B stuff. What makes it stand out is his voice, which is like this crazy low baritone, but he can do runs like The Weeknd. It's very very nice. And so I'm like, well, this is someone to look like kind of keep track of. And then I saw a couple months ago, I'm like, oh, that guy, he released a new album. I should check it out. And I was blown away. This album is phenomenal. By far the best thing that I've listened to this year. And I think I might even go so far as to say this is my pick for album of the decade so far. This is beyond anything that I've heard in a long time. I highly recommend everyone check it out because it is not as popular as his other stuff. So check it out. It's very nice. Thank you. Bye.
Maybe I will.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I need to get back into new artists. I've been too comfortable with the people that I listen to. Gotta branch out.
Yeah.
Too
Come
comfortable.
on. Get out of your bubble.
Get out of my freaking bubble. Speaking of my bubble, my album of the year. Billy Woods. I can't say the name of the album, but it's on the screen. You know what it is.
Yes.
Yeah. I did a reaction video to this. I think a lot of my thoughts will be in that video because that's like that's one of the only reaction videos where like I was physically exhausted for the rest of the day after doing that. That was a lot mentally and physically after doing that video. This album cut so freaking deep. I don't understand like this album crossed the comfort barrier of this is music coming through my headphones. This is like the kind of you watch a movie that like kind of disturbs you and it kind of sticks with you for a little bit. That definitely happened with this album. It reaches past the comfortability between artist, viewer, all of these kind of things because it hits like a whole thing of being we're taking horror movies and folklore and all these different things and mixing them with like real life events. So you have these essentially real horror stories across all the album, very neatly packaged through fantastic writing. All the producers on this thing: Steel Tip Dove, Kenny Segal, Conductor, LP, Preservation, Messiah Music, all just absolutely incredible producers. Yeah, the subject matter is so dark. Waterproof Mascara is one of the most terrifying songs I've ever heard. He played it live too, which was very weird. There's something wrong with that man. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh,
Corinthians, incredible. Corinthians is just kind of flipping one of the songs off Aethiopes into this kind of part two, with Despot also doing a feature that's pretty similar in cadence to what he did on that album. Makila Dore's verse of the year on that one of the strongest verses I've ever heard in all of hip hop, everything I've heard. It just is incredible. But yeah, just subject matter of genocides and like still like the bleeding continent of Africa and how it will continue to be wronged for as long as it lives, and every other nation that has kind of succumbed to that kind of fate, but mixed with personal stuff and mixed with everything else as well. It's dense. It's not easy to get through. If you're really listening and paying attention, it is like downright just dreadful when you get through it. It really just puts a pit in your stomach. But at the same time, it's incredibly made music. But you also have songs like Born Alone and Make No Mistake, which are your little hints of not feeling horrible. So those are there at least.
Oh.
But yeah, this is incredible. I think this is top 5 of the decade, somewhere in there. Yeah, I think this is top 3 solo for him as well. Somewhere up there. It could be 1, it could be 3, I don't know. But it's
Wow.
it's incredible.
Nice.
My number 1 is Getting Killed by Geese.
No way.
I'm very unique and quirky for liking this album. No
Really?
one else likes this album.
Never even heard of it.
I
Heard of
it is. I
swans,
think it
but
is
geese?
pretty easily album of the year, and I think it will be a defining album of the decade. It's take everything I said about heavy metal, but put it in a more like uplifting tone, I suppose, in more of like a just like a band sense. I think everybody pulls their weight pretty evenly. There's a lot of songs where like, wow, the drums here are crazy. Wow, the singing's here crazy. Wow, the bass line here is crazy. It's just like it's very distorted, it's groovy, it's abrasive all at the same time, and it just like it shouldn't mix together, but it does. Cobra is a great song. Husbands is a great song. Islands of Men is like complete flow state where you just get hypnotized into this like guitar loop over and over and over again. Always do cocaine is like getting stabbed in the heart, but it sounds good. Yeah, this is just like it's got crazy instrumentation, crazy vocals, very like metaphorical, very out there lyricism, all while just sounding amazing. Just back to back, it's awesome. Listen to it.
Okay.
They got that early radio
I'm gonna be
spark.
Yeah, I'm gonna be that annoying person who doesn't stop talking about Geese for the next 5 years.
I think they're
So,
going to be the next big
Yeah.
thing, so we'll see.
I don't think they're gonna break through into the mainstream.
No,
They'll be
but
that
they'll
one
be
level
the
below mainstream.
yeah. Your kids will love it.
Yeah. Like I think it's the delivery, and like I think it's a little too quirky to be, or a little too unorthodox, I suppose, to be like a huge thing. But I think it's going to be that level below mainstream that people gravitate towards.
Them and Black Country, they're the cult classics of the decade.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd say this is like a spiritual successor to the first 2 Black Country albums
Mm-hmm.
in terms of fan base, in terms of just the vibe that it brings.
Oh yeah.
They have that feeling where they feel like there's something new, they're improving, they're creative, and they're really good. So it's like
They're
just
not
gonna keep
British
on
too,
getting
are
better,
they?
I think. No, they're from New York City.
New York.
New York.
New York.
We stole one back. The windmills
That's
were
right.
producing all these bands, but no, we got one. Take that.
But I think this
They're
is them kind
performing
of
at the
planting their
Freedom Tower.
flag. Yeah, this is them kind of planting their flag in the hey, we are Geese and we are here.
That's awesome.
And we are, yeah.
Swans,
what do geese do?
swans are dead and geese are here.
Yes.
That's right. That's a very beautiful metaphor.
Poetic.
Allegory.
That was it. We got through that in an hour, which is great because usually these videos end up
Wow.
being 2.5 hours, and I know people don't want to sit through it that long. So
No.
we made good time on this one. So yeah, very good year of music. I feel
Yes.
like I didn't listen to as much, just because all my favorite artists dropped albums, so I was just listening to those. But yeah, we'll be back for videos next year. We got to figure out. Oh, we're doing Marvin Gaye next. Actually, we already know that. So
Yeah.
stay tuned for that.
I always forget the name of that album. It's
I see the cover in
It's-
my head.
I Want You.
Yes, that's the one. I want you to subscribe and then go to the Boy Time podcast because we did our top 5 movies, TV shows, and games list like we
That's
do every
right.
other year. So go watch
Yeah.
that to see our thoughts on Smiling Friends and
Avatar 3.
Avatar 3 and Mickey 17.
Wow. All of those are
And
Disney
Death
property.
Stranding 2.
Yep. And Death
Death
Stranding 2,
Stranding too.
which famously came out. Did that come out this year? No way.
Did.
Oh my god.
It did. Like a couple months ago. As of
Crazy.
us recording it.
Crazy. Wow. Well, that's it.
Wow.
Okay.
What a great
Is that
year.
it?
That's it. Unless anybody else has
Hit the
anything
like
else to
bell.
plug or say, any political statements you need to rattle off before I cut your mic all dramatic like.
Hit the like button and turn on those notifications.